Hi, I'm David Ackert, and this is the third installment in 4 ways to get more referrals. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build a referral pipeline. I'm also going to show you how you can avoid the biggest networking pitfall there is.
In order to create a pipeline, you'll need to stop winging it and put in place an efficient system that funnels in a flow of referrals. As you know, service providers primarily get their referrals from 2 sources, clients and other service providers. You know who your clients are, and you can use some of the asking techniques I shared in the first video of this series to encourage referrals from them. But how do you nurture fellow service providers into productive allies? Especially when there's a sea of professionals out there to choose from. You can waste a lot of time sifting through them if you don't have a system that singles out the allies quickly and efficiently. The truth is, most service providers don't have that system. They don't track their key relationships effectively, they don't follow up consistently, and they don't aggregate allies and nurture them into productive pipelines. As a result, they find themselves reacting to whatever's in front of them at the moment, and years later, wondering how they got so far down an unproductive track. So let's make sure you don't end up there. Here's a simple system that can change all that. It starts with an ally filter. This weeds through the masses quickly, identifies the potentials, and ultimately, the allies. It uses a criteria we'll call the 4 C's. They are chemistry, compatible markets, competence, and collaborative mindset. The first 2 are easy. When you meet someone new, you know right away if you have chemistry. Your intuition tells you if you like them, trust them, and want to spend more time with them. You can figure out the second criteria, compatible markets, by asking them a few questions about their profession and industry. That'll tell you if they have access to your prospects. So, what do? I'm a pet psychic. Okay, this guy probably doesn't have access to your prospects. He isn't in a compatible market. It only takes the right person a few minutes to pass through your first 2 criterion, and once they have, they're a potential. But it takes much longer to test the remaining 2 C's and graduate someone to the coveted status of ally. So to test someone's competence, take them out to lunch, get to know them better, and ask them questions like, what kind of client issues are you working on right now? Or what are some of the biggest professional challenges you've experienced to date? Their answers will give you a sense of how competently they deal with tough situations. Testing their collaborative mindset is important because you want to know that if you give them business, they'll be inclined to reciprocate. So give them something of value right away, like a relevant article or an introduction to a colleague, and see how they respond. Did they acknowledge your gesture? Did they thank you? Did they try to send something of use in return? Their response will give you a sense of how likely they are to give back down the road. So if you find yourself on a 3rd or 4th lunch with prospective referral sources, wondering if they'll ever become productive allies, consider that you either haven't asked them the tough questions yet, or you haven't gotten around to testing their collaborative mindset. Your time is money. Make it count. Once you get the hang of this, the system becomes a kind of game. You meet someone new, they go into the ally filter. You know within a few minutes if there's chemistry and access to compatible markets. Ta-da! They're a potential. Now you spend a lunch or 2 assessing their competence and collaborative mindset until they get all the way through and become an ally. Now that you have a few allies, it's important to start investing in these relationships. Tip the balance right away by being the first to practice generosity. After all, you can't expect your allies to have a collaborative mindset if you don't practice one yourself. No one likes to do business with a taker, so nurture the relationships at every turn. Refer them clients when appropriate, and introductions to other professionals who could be potential allies for them. Send them a handwritten note or a bottle of wine when they refer you business. Be a pleasure to work with. That will ensure a long-standing alliance. Okay, let's put all the pieces together. In the first video, you learned how to ask clients for referrals. Your clients are an important component to a healthy referral pipeline. In the second video, you learned how to use LinkedIn for laser prospecting. Once you get the hang of it, you can identify your next prospective clients in just a few minutes' time. And in this video, you learned how to use the ally filter so that networking with fellow service providers is efficient and fruitful. These elements put together create a powerful referral pipeline. So that's how you create one. But how will you sustain it? How will you grow it? These are important questions. The average service professional always seems to stop their marketing efforts the moment they get busy with new clients. And before they know it, the pipeline has dried up, and they have to start all over again. The fact is, you can't rely on an inconsistent pipeline to grow your practice. So how can you meet your revenue goals? Well, stay tuned.
In the next video, I'll share a critical piece of information that will help you hit your revenue goals. Watch for it in a few days. In the meantime, leave a comment in the section below, and thanks again for watching.